The Time Capsule. The town of Oak Ridge celebrated its centennial with grand festivities, including the unearthing of a time capsule buried 50 years prior. Excitement buzzed through the crowd as the mayor and a few town elders gathered around the freshly dug hole. The capsule, a rusted metal box, was carefully lifted and brought to the town hall for the unveiling. Among the crowd was Lisa, a local journalist eager for a scoop. She had always been fascinated by Oak Ridge's history and saw the time capsule as a treasure trove of stories from the past. Little did she know, the true nature of the contents would plunge the town into a nightmare. The ceremony began with speeches from the mayor and the elders. Then, the time capsule was pried open. Inside, they found letters, photographs, and small trinkets, seemingly innocent remnants of the past. The town hall was filled with murmurs of excitement and nostalgia. The items were laid out on a table for everyone to see. Lisa pushed her way to the front, her eyes scanning the array of objects. One item caught her attention, a small, ornate box. Inside, she found a stack of neatly folded papers. Unfolding the first sheet, she read the title, The Fates of Oak Ridge. It was a list of names, including descriptions of deaths that hadn't yet happened. "Look at this," Lisa called out, her voice trembling. The room fell silent as she read aloud. James Walker, drowned in the river. Susan Moore, struck by lightning. Henry Collins, crushed by falling tree. The mayor tried to dismiss it as a morbid joke, but the crowd grew uneasy. "This can't be real," he said, laughing nervously. That night, the first death occurred. James Walker, a respected teacher, was found face down in the river. The town was shaken, but many chalked it up to a tragic accident. However, when Susan Moore was struck by lightning during a clear day, and Henry Collins was crushed by a tree while working in his yard, the town's collective fear turned to panic. Lisa couldn't ignore the eerie accuracy of the list. Determined to uncover the truth, she delved into the town's archives, searching for any clues about the time capsule. She discovered that it had been buried by a man named Walter Craven, an eccentric who was known for his dark obsessions and mysterious ways. As Lisa dug deeper, she found old newspaper articles and journals that painted a disturbing picture of Walter Craven. He had been fascinated with the occult and had dabbled in dark rituals. There were rumors that he had made a pact with an otherworldly entity, trading his soul for the ability to foresee, and perhaps even control, death. Lisa's investigation led her to the crumbling remains of Craven's old house on the outskirts of town. The air was thick with an oppressive energy as she stepped inside. She found a hidden room in the basement, filled with symbols drawn in blood and ancient texts that spoke of necromancy and dark prophecies. Among the texts, Lisa found Craven's final journal. His last entry detailed the creation of the time capsule, which he had imbued with a curse. It was meant to reveal the deaths of those who disturbed it, ensuring that Craven's malevolent influence would linger long after his death. Lisa's heart raced as she realized the town was doomed unless she could find a way to break the curse. The journal mentioned a ritual to reverse the curse, but it required the sacrifice of someone who had already been marked by it. Lisa knew what she had to do. She gathered the remaining townspeople and explained the situation. They were skeptical but desperate. Lisa revealed that her own name was on the list, marked for a gruesome fate. She volunteered to be the one to perform the ritual, hoping it would save the others. That night, under a blood-red moon, Lisa stood in the center of the town square. She recited the incantation from Craven's journal, her voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her. The air grew colder, and the ground trembled as she spoke the final words. A dark shadow rose from the earth, the embodiment of the curse. It loomed over Lisa, whispering promises of pain and death. But Lisa stood firm, her resolve unshaken. She offered herself to the darkness, hoping it would be enough to save her town. The shadow enveloped her, and for a moment, it seemed as though the curse had won. But then, a blinding light erupted from Lisa's chest, pushing the darkness back. The shadow shrieked and writhed, dissolving into the night. When the light faded, Lisa lay motionless on the ground. The townspeople rushed to her, their faces etched with fear and gratitude. She had sacrificed herself to break the curse, and in doing so, had saved them all. The list in the time capsule vanished, the names erased as though they had never been written. The deaths that had already occurred remained a tragic memory, but the future was no longer bound by Craven's malevolent foresight. Oakridge mourned Lisa's loss, but honored her bravery. A statue was erected in the town square, a reminder of her sacrifice. Life slowly returned to normal, the horrors of the cursed time capsule fading into legend. Years later, a new generation of children played in the town square, unaware of the dark history that had once threatened their town. The sky was clear, the air filled with laughter and the promise of a brighter future. The time capsule had been a harbinger of death, but it was Lisa's courage that had given Oakridge a second chance at life.